Hello, welcome to 5-Star Recaps. Today I will show you a 2022 movie titled, The Woman King. Spoiler alert. Watch out and take care. The people of Dahomey face great tribulations from their fellow city, the Empire of Oyo, which is far greater than Dahomey in size and workmanship. As a result, they offer their people as slaves to the Oyo Empire and pay unnecessary tributes. A new king is crowned in Oyo, and a young king, King Gezo. And despite that the Oyo have more war instruments than Dahomey, Gezo has a unique tool, a team of warriors so strong that they leave their family and pledge never to get married so they can protect their people. These female warriors are called Agojia, and a strong warhead, General Naniska, heads them. At the beginning of the movie, Naniska and her team of Agojia confront a team of Oyo warriors to get their people that have been taken away for the slave trade. She kills all the men and goes further to find where the women are kept. She takes them and marches them home with her soldiers. On their way, they see a female child crying after her mother's death. Naniska sees a chain that suggests that the Oyo people have broken into her kingdom, and the girl tells her father has been taken as a slave and her brothers too. With great sorrow in Naniska's heart, she returns home to her people alongside the slaves she has rescued. On the other hand, in the city of Dahomey, a young girl Nyawi goes to the market with her friend. As she attempts to buy what she needs, a fashion designer beside her asks her to tell her mother to buy her wedding dress from her. Nyawi doesn't even know she is getting married. Her friend suggests that probably her family has found another match for her. As they talk about this, the Agojis arrive, and all the villagers bow down for the team of female warriors. However, Naniska doesn't smile or wave back to them. Her friend and teammate, Amenza, asks her to at least smile at the people bowing down to her, but she tells Amenza that the people bowing do not know what they will face when the Oyo break into the city. She goes straight to the palace and asks to see the king despite that the king doesn't want to see anyone that day except his wives. She insists on seeing the king. Meanwhile, Nyawi walks home with her friend, and her younger siblings jump to meet her, telling her that a rich man is at home waiting to marry her. She gets saddened, but she goes to meet the man. The man's first statement to her is that he is rich and he has palm trees, so she will spend her life working, and she isn't allowed to speak to him. He also says she is ill-mannered and slaps her 3 times. Unable to retake the slaps and with a strong wish to never marry a woman beater, she pushes the man away, and the man angrily walks out. Her father is angry with her because that isn't the first time she is doing such, so he drags her to the palace and tells the guard that he wants to dash her to the king. The guard welcomes her, and she looks at all the women practicing and fighting in the palace. The king comes out of his quarters. He walks past all his queens, including her royal highness, who tries to drag him by, then goes to meet Naniska. As the king leaves, her royal highness asks his guard why the king favors Naniska more than every other woman considering that she enters the palace dirty. The guard replies it's because Naniska fought for the kingdom and crowned him the king even when her royal highness went to hide in the cupboard. The people of the Oyo Empire have gotten to the slave quarters the Agojis have raided. They get angry that a team of female warriors dare to kill their male. After meeting with Naniska, the king calls the meeting with the chiefs, telling them he will no longer pay tributes to the Oyo Empire and that he wants to fight for his kingdom. They remind him that they don't have the resources and slave trade has helped to bring the country to the map, and they will become poor if they stop the slave trade. Naniska asks them if they know the price of the slave trade. She tells them that if they want to keep trading, they should trade palm oil and the others of their resources, and they should stop trading women. After lengthy arguments and a few conversations, Gezo announces that the next tribute they will pay will be the last they will pay to Oyo, and Naniska should show him how much palm oil she can extract that can make them rich. As the meeting ends, Naniska goes to welcome the new females who want to join Agojia. She tells them their responsibility and reminds them they don't have the right to give birth or marry, then gives anyone who wishes to back down the opportunity to leave. While some leaves, Nyawi and others stay. That night, Nyawi attempts to touch a soldier's weapon, and Izogi comes to her. Izogi shows her her weapon, and they become friends. That night, she goes to have her bath, and Naniska is bathing too. She tells Naniska she wants to be a powerful warrior, but Naniska tells her she is just a kid and will remain at the palace. The training officially starts, and she is weak. She encourages herself that she will be the best warrior and be strong like Izogi, and with this, she fights through all her pains and keeps up with her training. Eventually, General Oba Ade, along with the European slavers and a half Dahomey indigene, Malik, arrive for their tribute. As Naniska sees Oba Ade and the sign in his ear, she remembers the person that molested her, and the person has such signs too. Oba Ade says that due to Dahomey's disobedience, he has increased their tribute, asking for 40 Agojis. When Gezo offers to refuse, Oba Ade tells him he will no longer be allowed to use the slave port, which initially belonged to Dahomey but has been taken away by the Oyo Empire. Gezo agrees to give them 20 Agojis to be chosen by him, and when Naniska makes her choice, she chooses Nyawi. Naniska remembers her past with Oba Ade and gets very anxious. They take the 20 Agojis to Oba Ade, but instead of releasing them, she shows Oba Ade the head of his people and tells her people to run away while she fights Oba Ade alone. As she fights, some Oyo soldiers are coming to join the fight, so Nyawi stays behind, cut the rope of the door, and also helps Naniska escape. As they get to the port, Naniska gets angry at her for leaving the plans and tells her she should never disobey her command again. Later, Nyawi walks around to the river to sharpen her sword as Izogi has taught her. While she does that, she sees a white man, Malik, and purposely takes his clothes while he bathes. She accuses him of being a slaver, but Malik tells her he is also a Dahomey and his late mother asks him to visit Dahomey as her final wish. They talk, and as she hears someone coming, she runs away. Malik and another European trader visit Gezo. Malik tells Gezo that his mother's final wish is to come to Dahomey, so Gezo asks him to stay and watch his Agojia do their final training in battle. The trainee Agojis fight through obstacles, and Nyawi finishes in the first position. Gezo calls her and asks of her name. He gives her a sword as a reward. While Izogi helps her with her wounds, Naniska joins and shows Izogi some other injuries. She checks her back and sees a sign. She asks her what it is, and she tells Naniska it's a birthmark, and it has been on her body before her father adopted her. Immediately Naniska hears this, she runs to her room, and Amenza follows her. She asks Amenza what Amenza did to her daughter, which she gave birth to due to her constant rape, and Amenza tells her she gave the child to white missionaries. As Gezo spends with the second European representative about giving up on the slave trade, Malik speaks with Nyawi and asks Nyawi to meet with him at the port that night. After the Agogi's installation meeting, Nyawi goes to meet Malik, who tells her the Oyo Empire is coming with assistance from other tribes and she should follow him. She refuses and goes to report to Naniska. Naniska gets angry at Nyawi for meeting a slaver behind the team, and in rebellion, she replies she isn't like Naniska, and she can never be captured. As a result, Naniska tells her how she was raped, and she gave birth to a child. She tells her she put a hole behind the girl and put a shark tooth in the hole before giving her out, and she removes the tooth from Nyawi's back, signifying that Nyawi is her daughter. Nyawi walks away in tears. The following day, Naniska goes to check the warriors coming against them. They set a trap of gunpowders ahead of the attack, and Naniska goes home to encourage her warriors. As planned, the gunpowder explodes, and some of the Oyo soldiers are burnt. With this, the Agojis attack, and the Oyo Empire gets overwhelmed that they retreat. However, some members of Agojia, including Nyawi and Izogi, are taken captive. The Dahomey Empire wins the battle, while Naniska is bothered about her people that have been taken away. In the truck with the slaves, Nyawi tells her colleague by the edge of the truck to slide out. The girl returns to the city and tells Naniska of the fate awaiting the captured ones. While Naniska thinks of what to do, Gezo calls her. She finds a gathering of all of Gezo's wives, and Gezo announces that he is creating a new position where the holder will be his partner with equal power. They will protect the city together, a position he calls the Women King, and he bestows it on Naniska. However, she tells him it's too early, and she needs to save her people who have been taken captive, but he commands her to stay still and not save anyone. He tells her the people taken are the price to pay for their wins. And they will be celebrating a feast to crown her. At the slave quarters, Izogi plans an escape with Nyawi, and as they are paraded for sales, Nyawi is to cause a distraction so they can escape. However, Malik comes to fight for Nyawi, creating a distraction, and Izogi and Nyawi attempt to escape. However, while Izogi gets to the door, Nyawi is caught. Izogi attempts to save her, but she gets shot. Nyawi goes to her dead body and cries. That evening, Naniska leaves Dahomey with her like-minded warriors to save their friends, and Malik also buys Nyawi to protect her. The king hears of Naniska's disobedience through his queen, who asks that he continue the feast and crown another person, probably her, but Gezo walks away. Naniska and her people cause commotion at the slave quarters, and during this commotion, Nyawi escapes to join them. Naniska fights Oba Ade again and defeats him in one-on-one combat. She calls her people together while Malik helps save the drowning slaves. They return to Dahomey during the feast. Gezo chastises her for disobeying him at first but eventually crowns her as the Woman King. Before the real celebration, Nyawi goes to honor Izogi's death, and Naniska comes to join her, and they both share their mourning. That night at the celebration, Nyawi goes to Naniska, calls her mother, and asks her to dance. They dance together as the movie ends. Thanks for watching the recap. Kindly subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post the next recap.